So I got an Aussie in the house, right?
And
Adrian Lea. You're in Australia, correct?
Yep, all the way from sunny Melbourne, Australia, where all the action's happening.
You're my first Australian, and
Ooh.
my daughter is going to be so excited because her dream is to find a man in Australia, like a criminal. She thinks everyone looks like Chris Hemsworth over there.
Well, there's a few Chris Hemsworths around.
Yeah. So this is exciting. And I want people to know that what's interesting about me and you is we have two mutual friends for the most part.
Yeah.
And they both speak so highly of you. I truly don't know who you are, with the exception of me. I follow you on YouTube now. I was watching some of your podcasts. I've seen some of your fitness videos, but overall, I really never talked to you.
You want me to share a little bit about the journey?
Yeah, I do. I want to know who the hell you are regarding fitness. Also, I know you're into some type of marketing. So throw some stuff at me here. Let me hear what you got.
Well, Rich, mate, I grew up as a fat country boy in Shepparton. So Shepparton was a country town. It's about 2 hours from Melbourne. And mum and dad were very active people. Dad had his own construction company. Mum was a stay-at-home mum. She was like very, very much into her sports and tennis and bowls and that sort of thing. So they kind of got me very active early on. But essentially, I really started to get into the weight room when I think it was about 16, 17.
Okay.
And immediately fell in love with lifting weights. Mm-hmm. And it just took me on this journey where that was my transformation. So I went and got my personal training certificate in the early days. So when I think I was 18, mm-hmm. when I got my certificate, and then it just snowballed from there. So I was kind of a young boy trying to, partying and, girlfriends and things like that. But I was looking for more out of life, even at an early age. I knew I was a bit different to other people, just from I didn't want to, Dad ingrained this work ethic in me that was just like, Adrian, you want anything in life, you got to go out and get it yourself. You got to go do the work. And every day Dad would have me up at 7 a.m. Earlier. It'd be right at 7 o'clock, you go down the street and you go and find yourself a job. And I was just great. So I did that for a long time. And that's how I ended up getting my first jobs while I was at school. But essentially, I just had this passion for fitness. I just loves being active. But to be honest with you, Rich, being active was one part, but what you put in your mouth was completely different.
Sure.
So I was just eating whatever. I had no idea about nutrition or anything like that. And obviously I knew that protein built muscle, but that was about it. Mm-hmm. So I just chugging away at the shakes and eating pastas and a bunch of other, junk food and stuff. But that's why I mentioned in the beginning, I was a fat country boy, because I had no clue. And I felt, for me, it was more of a mind blockage. I felt like I was dumb, right? Because I couldn't think clearly. My brain wasn't getting what it needed or what it didn't need, basically. Gotcha. So, that was the journey I started on. And then when I was around 20 years, 22, I moved down to Melbourne. So I moved down to Melbourne with my girlfriend at the time. And then I kind of did the same thing as I did back at home. I was looking for a job and things like that. And I got back into PT again. So I was on and off with personal training.
Okay.
So for the last 20 years, I've been on and off.
Okay.
Face to face. But in the last 6 years, it's been only online and no face to face. But I moved down to Melbourne, worked in construction for about 10 years.
Wow.
Because I was a carpenter by trade. Dad would apprentice me. And from there, I was just I just wasn't feeling fulfilled.
Okay. Right.
I wasn't feeling fulfilled in the work that I was doing. And I was earning great money in construction. And I was, helping people on site. I was doing some group workouts at lunchtime and all that good stuff. But there was just something missing. And for me, it was me being able to obviously help more people and create more of an impact, but really live life on my terms and not have to answer to anyone. in regards to like, a boss or anyone like that. I was kind of my own leader of my life. And so anyway, that basically 6 years ago, my dad passed away, and that spiraled everything.
Gotcha.
Like that's what changed everything. It was like light bulb after light bulb. I was just like, why am I doing this stuff? So anyway, I quit my full-time construction job.
Wow.
And I went out, I hired a business coach, which I nearly missed that part. I had one business coach, fitness business, and he showed me everything about digital marketing, how to build your personal training business face-to-face and online. And he helped me through the journey, and forever grateful for him today. But so started down so I quit my full-time job, went online.
Yeah.
And guess what? It was a rude shock.
You didn't get the results you expected, right?
Dude, your craft, how to get people results. But what I found that is when I started, it wasn't just about my results or expertise. It was me being able to market myself.
Yes. Right.
To sell myself and build some credibility and get people to know, love, and trust me, right? All that good stuff. That was the hardest part. So when I quit my full-time job, I actually had to go back to work. So I hired another business coach, and his name's Craig Ballantyne. So I worked with Craig for 12 months in the initial stages. And he goes, Adrian, when do you want to leave your full-time job again? And I said, oh, look, I want to wait until I get my long service and all that paid out, right?
Sure.
And he's like, dude, we can do this in half the time that you want. I'm like, let's do it. So I removed waiting another 6 months to get this long service, and I just went hard. So basically, Craig helped me build some structure and discipline into my routine. So I already had the work ethic, right? I just needed the structure, and I needed to be disciplined to work on only the few things that were going to move the needle, get me out of this full-time job that I really disliked. Yeah. Because I was in an emotional state. Dad had passed away. He was like my best mate. And, he taught me everything as a dad does, and I learned so many things from Dad. And I was just going through that real grieving emotional stage.
Sure.
And I was like this, bugger you world, I'm doing what I want. Because one of the hardest things on the initially quitting my job was all my friends and family telling me, why would you want to do that?
Sure.
Why would you want to go and start another business that you've never done before? And let go of a really high paying job. And I was like, well, because I want to. And basically I had to let go of a lot of people, including my close family, like that I didn't speak to for ages.
Were you married at this time, have children, or was this this was just you independently making this decision, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But it was here's the thing. It was with my now wife. We've been together for like 12 years and married for the last 6. But here's the kicker. My wife did not believe in me, dude. She did not believe that I could do it. Yeah. So for me, man, I didn't really have that support in my ecosystem. Sure. Like I had coaches, but I didn't have the real people that I could count on.
Yeah.
And do you know what helped me get through it, man?
I have no idea. YouTube? I'm just kidding.
the discipline of lifting weights.
Yeah.
That time that I had with myself,
I believe
and the lifting weights was my armor.
Yes.
Right. My armor. But also it helped me to become smarter.
I believe it.
Right. Because, there's a lot of things that go on in the brain when you work out.
Of course.
And I just, all I did was I listened to my coaches. I focused on few things that would actually help me, like, one, get leads every day and clients every week. Right.
Right.
And then I was just like, cool, I know what I need to do. I was horrible on video in the beginning, right? So I got good at video over time, reasonably good.
Adrian, let me ask you something first. Why didn't you just go to a gym and start training? Why did you go online to start marketing yourself there? Because you didn't want to work for a gym, or did you just want to reach a much bigger mass audience?
Yeah. So initially I was doing workplace corporate fitness for groups.
Okay.
So I would go around this is when I first quit.
Okay.
I was like, I want to do this personal training, group training with my avatar, which was construction. Basically, I wanted to change the construction industry, right? Because the culture is like horrendous, especially for lifestyle and mindset. There's a lot of mental health and a lot of drugs and alcohol abuse in the construction industry, especially here in Australia.
Same with painting in a lot of those industries, right?
Yeah. And so back then I wanted to change the industry, and I still do. However, what happened was I started to shift with people that I really wanted to work with. I wanted to work with people that wanted more out of life. So like already people that were high performers, executives, business owners, entrepreneurs, people that were looking for more out of life, but they just put their fitness and health on the back burner. Of
course. Yeah.
Right. And I was like, cool, that's my avatar. I'm just going to go after them. So that's where I was like, I switched from, this is through a mastermind. So basically when I hired my business coach, I went to a mastermind in Sydney here in Australia. And he was like, what do you really want, Adrian? What is your, dream come true? And I was like, well, I don't want to be doing this full time forever. He's like, well, what does it look like? I'm like, I want to be online and I want to bring my son up. More importantly, I want to bring my son up and have the flexibility to see him when I want.
Yeah. You want to be the parent that you've always wanted to be, right?
Exactly. I didn't want to have to ask for permission. So this is what really triggered me. I had to ask for permission to go and see my dying dad when he was ill, right?
Right.
And that was just like, boom, like this ain't going to happen again. I will never ask for permission unless it's for my wife.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But so that's what really triggered the whole thing for online, Rich. And I knew that if I wanted to get people to connect with me and relate to me, then I had to be me,
right? But
in front of this thing.
Okay. Right.
And that was one of the hardest things to overcome.
Right.
Was because I felt like I was like, right now I'm me, right? I'm not putting an act on or anything like that. This is how I speak. I'm not nervous at all. I'm just calling it as it is, man.
Yeah.
So it was just getting over those reps. When you're trying to learn something new, you got to get the reps in, right? And the more consistent you stay with it, the better you get, and you actually, reflect and review what you're doing. Yeah. So that was the start of the online journey. And so first off, instead of focusing on now, Facebook and Instagram and like Twitter and LinkedIn, they're all just platforms or channels that you can, create content on, like YouTube and whatever. I decided to focus on LinkedIn.
Yeah. That's
right?
what
Early. Yeah. So I put my effort into LinkedIn. I did create content for Instagram and Facebook, but I was really focused on LinkedIn. So I built out a system on LinkedIn over the last 6 years. And what it does is a few things. One, it helps you build authority and credibility for your business or your profile.
Gotcha.
It then connects you with your target market.
Okay.
So in my case, it was, thought leaders and professionals and executives and business owners, entrepreneurs, whatever, right? Sure. The third part was having conversations.
Right. With legit people within business, not
That's right.
a
Legit.
lot of mess.
So
right?
what I would
A lot of
do,
noise. I get it.
so what I would do is every single day I kept it simple in the early days. So I would shoot high value content.
Mm-hmm.
I would engage with my community on LinkedIn.
Sure.
I would connect with them,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have a conversation.
Right.
And then that was it. I literally built up my business from that.
No, I
I
believe.
had my phone,
Mm-hmm.
my phone, and a calendar booking to take appointments. That was it.
Yeah,
I didn't have anything.
I love LinkedIn as well. For some reason, believe me, I'm anti-corporate, if anybody, to a certain degree. But what's interesting with me was my cousin, who was a CEO, who's a real big wig, said, Rich, there's this platform, and this is back 12, 13 years ago. I loved MySpace. MySpace took a shit. I was aggravated. Everyone was going Facebook. I was like, all right, this looks like it's family and friends, because on MySpace, I could upload videos. I was a filmmaker. On Facebook, it was just something where, checking in and images of families. Again, I wasn't down with it. And Instagram was just photo images, but I started with LinkedIn. And what was amazing being a filmmaker, I was finally able to reach people that I really couldn't reach before in the film and television industry. And I can communicate with them, and they understood I was legit if they accepted me. But LinkedIn exploded for me over the years, and I'm still on, which makes no sense because I'm really I don't look at myself as a businessman. I'm more of an artist kind of guy. I make films, I write books, programs, YouTube, podcasts. It's more creative, but that platform worked the best for me. But I got another thing for you here real quick. So it's funny you said, when you have those changings with your father, my daughter had a liver transplant when I was younger, when I first got married. And that was a life-altering type situation, because I looked at my daughter going through all these surgeries. And like yourself, I said, everybody says family first a lot of times, right? But the truth was, I was always working, even when I first had her. And then I was trying to work and go through these surgeries, going through all these things. I'm like, what type of dad do I want to be? Not only now, but what type of dad am I going to inspire her to be as a parent as well? I said, and then I had another daughter. I said, I want to be the parent that inspires my kids to know their father always went after their dreams, went after their goals, failed, succeeded. And it's interesting because that's the one thing that now with my daughters, after everything I've done, is they have that openness to go after their dreams and goals. And you may have not had maybe your wife or other people behind you then, but what's amazing, it sounds like to you, is you're starting to succeed. And by succeeding, now you don't realize maybe all the other people you're inspiring along the way. Because maybe we didn't have people to inspire us. We were kind of programmed to say, no, you got to go work. You got to get a white collar job, a blue collar job. When you don't do what others tell you to do, they're mad at you, or they think you're almost ruining your family. You're going to go broke. You're going to go under. You don't have a pension, or you're not doing all these things, but they don't realize your journey is what you're about, right? Throughout your life, it's not just about money. It's about inspiring yourself, others, and learning along the way and connecting. So anyways, let's go back to you. So you're on LinkedIn and you connect with, but I from what I understand is you do really well on LinkedIn yourself, and you love helping others along the way besides just doing it independently, correct?
Yeah. So what happened was, when I was working with my business coach, he actually seen what I was doing on LinkedIn, is like, dude, how are you doing this on LinkedIn? And I was just like, oh, I've just got a system and it works well. He's like, well, can you teach it to our members? Mm-hmm. So basically he brought me on board as his head coach of his coaching program. And from there, I would just help people with LinkedIn more so than anything, because that's what I knew. And that's where I could give the most value. And over time, fitness professionals and, pretty much anyone, consultants, course creators, business owners, entrepreneurs, they were just seeing what I was doing. And then I went from the trainer guy, or aren't you a trainer? And then that's how I sort of segued into helping people with LinkedIn. So what I did was I built my first business, LeaWay Fitness, on LinkedIn. That gave me the freedom that I needed and the finances, right, to have a bit more flexibility. And then we had our son, which is all part of the plan.
Mm.
And my wife, it's been almost 2 years, and she doesn't need to go back to work. She can do whatever she wants.
Right.
Right. But that's what I wanted to create.
Mm.
And you know what, Rich, is like, before our conversation today, last night was a pretty poor sleep because Charlie was up and down like a yo-yo. But you know what? It's all those hours that people don't see. It's those early mornings. It's those evenings that you work to build something. And they're the things that help you become the human that you are.
Absolutely.
Right. Because it's so easy to just push the snooze button in the morning and go, I just need a bit more sleep.
Yeah.
But I just get up and I just do what's needed. Right. And take naps during the day and be kind to myself.
Yes.
Like that's
love
what's really helped more than anything over the years, and sharing those experiences. Like, because now, like, I have other coaches come to me and they're like, I'm like, do you have any other income to be able to support what you're doing? And they're like, no. And I'm like, how are you going to support yourself?
Yeah.
Like, no one tells you in the early days to have a full-time job or have financial resources behind you as you're building this other thing.
Sure.
Right. For me, that was a game changer. And now whenever if I'm speaking with someone, I'm like, hey, look, the best thing you can do, this is a long journey.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to earn 20, 30, 40, 50K in the next month consistently. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that you need to do.
Yep.
And I recommend that you go and get yourself a part-time job or whatever you need to do to be able to build this thing that you really want. Because if you really want it, like you say you do, you'll go and do that other thing that you don't want to do, which is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? No one was telling me that. I built the business as I went, but I had the resources to back me so that I could just do more things and focus on the right things that'll actually move the needle. And then when I had 5-6 months worth of consistent income from my online coaching, then I threw the full-time job away.
I found it so interesting that you went to the approach of LinkedIn being a trainer, because I don't think a lot of people go that route. They usually will go Facebook, they'll go Instagram, even YouTube, which is great. I'm not saying it isn't, but you went after the business type approach because you know a lot of people in business, I presume, need health and wellness as well. You also probably communicated with other companies for public speaking in the future, or just getting involved with groups, not just chasing individuals that needed training, even locally or within their own friends or family members even. I love that approach. And you look at it as a business too, where I think a lot of trainers are just looking at as an hourly type thing, or they're just working at a gym or a boutique, right? As a career, you're looking at it as a big picture, but you're not also looking at it as like, I need 10 employees or I need to teach this. You wanted to construct a life you wanted to construct specifically for you when it came to your business, how you wanted to teach people and how you want to market yourself. Would you say that sums it up?
Yeah, pretty much. I think the biggest shift that I took early on was not just around giving more fitness or nutrition information.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was more about entering the conversation that my prospect was having in their brain.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they need to do, except there's a reason why they're not doing it. Because think about it, as you evolve from your 20s to your 30s, you have more responsibilities.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Your responsibilities are like stacking up. Maybe you got married. Maybe you've got multiple kids. Maybe you're not sleeping. Maybe you've got this anchor from many years ago through your childhood that holds you back. Yeah. Maybe someone said something to you that just completely, shifted your whole life, and you're still holding on to that. So for me, I was focusing more on getting inside their brain and shifting one tiny thing that would help them actually get started or think about things differently, which is working on their limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Or shifting the way they think about something. because I didn't want to just be the personal trainer. What people don't realize behind the scenes is exactly what you said. You are building a business. What comes with business? Everything.
Yeah.
Like everything you can imagine. There's not many people out there that can truly set a foundation and take everything that comes with it, not just the wins, but more so how many times you get knocked down.
Yep. I couldn't
And
agree more.
that's,
I agree with I'm all about the one philosophy. I've seen other videos you discussing that. You had 4 different things as well that you work on through the process of one, I think, something in that nature. I always talk about too many people get overwhelmed and take on way too much, especially within fitness and taking care of themselves. They want all of a sudden life altering. I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to work out more. I'm going to be getting up now at 6 a.m. I'm going to take on a new career. I'm going to shop different. I'm going to cook different. It's so nuts. I says, you can't even barely do one thing correctly. Why are we jumping on the 4 or 5? Let's just move in small increments. Even with losing weight, I talk about, I'm a 1 pound a week guy when I help my clients, or even a 1 a month at the beginning. I just want to show them consistency works. Very minuscule at the beginning. I don't need you to lose 20 pounds in 60 days. And then I talk to you in a year and you're the same weight you were before, or you took on an unrealistic diet that only lasted, a certain amount of time. And you knew in the long term, you're not going to eat that type of food for the rest of your life. Same with fitness. I don't care that you're kicking it in the ass for 3 months, but then you quit for another 6. So I'm all about your one. Yeah. It's all about one steps. I don't care who you are in life. Multitasking to me in time is different. Once you if you do something small, like you slowly decrease your portion control, or you slowly go to the gym. If you never can be consistent in the gym, I tell people just go once or twice a week, or just walk once or twice a week. Let's just start getting some blood flow and finding what you love to do. And I think that's kind of what you work off of. I think that premise. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Yeah, it's like, it's finding something or shifting the way you look at something. Like, for example, a lot of people are like, I don't like doing something. And it's like, why not? Like, why don't you like it? Is there a way that you could start to enjoy it if you looked at it differently?
Yeah.
So a lot of people like, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm like, that's cool, but I don't want to work out at home either. And I'm like, okay, cool. So what is it that you love doing that you don't need motivation to do? And it's like, I love reading a book, sitting down and relaxing and reading a book. I said, well, how about we look at your now weight training at home as reading a book? It's the way you look at it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the way you think about the task at hand. Because there's some days that you and I would be like, shit, I really don't want to get this workout in. Like, there's going to be, because you're human.
Absolutely.
And humans are emotional creatures. And when we understand that,
I think
we can then.
I think with us, we kind of flip it though. And I think a lot of people realize they can flip it. It would be like not going to work. You all of a sudden feel like you're lazy. But when it comes to fitness, you keep giving yourself a pass. So when you don't work out, you miss something, right? It's like a person like, oh, I missed going to the gym, or I missed working out today. It wasn't that I dreaded going. There's a big difference there, right? And people have too many excuses a lot of times when it comes to health and wellness or just fitness. If you don't like a gym, go do Pilates. You don't like Pilates, I don't care. Go do yoga. If you don't like that, surf. But do something. I don't care whatever you have to do, you have to figure it out independently, because you're responsible for your own health. Quit blaming others. And also, I think, and I discuss this a lot, some people don't like to go to a gym because they don't want to be around a lot of people, or they're intimidated. I get it 100%.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. But then at the same time, go at certain hours that nobody's there. Or if you're very social, make it social, right? But also don't depend on other people to make you to inspire you to go do these things. You have to inspire yourself. It's your responsibility to either, if you want to lose weight, gain weight, get into a certain type of shape, and just learn. It all falls on you, no one else. And I don't think most people realize that.
Rich, something very, very powerful that you just said once you take full ownership of everything in your life, everything changes. It's all on you. Like you said, it's not on your next door neighbor. It's not on your husband. It's not on your friend. It's not on your kids. It's on you.
Yeah.
It's your duty and responsibility.
Yep.
Because you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't, because there's other people around you that are relying on you. You know, you look at your family, they rely on you.
Yeah. And people have to take an honest approach. A lot of people don't like the way they look, right? They don't. And they think if they do certain things, people are going to frown upon that. Even if they're married or in relationships, I see it a lot. If they lose weight and their significant other doesn't, they feel like, oh my God, they're trying to get sexy. Are they cheating on me? Are they doing this? Why are they doing that? But you have to understand, I know it sounds crazy. It could be in any situation. You're going to have people that are behind you or people that are going to make fun of you, whatever. I was growing up always lifting weights, and I liked shaving. I didn't like hair on my body. I was going to self-tanner in the 80s. I was obsessed with going to the gym, and everyone's making fun of me and all, which eventually became a pretty, and then I moved to Florida and there were a lot of people like me. But in Chicago, most of my buddies didn't work out. You play basketball, football, baseball or hockey, maybe soccer. And I played all those sports too. But when it came to weightlifting, or looking good or wanting to look fit, people frowned upon that back then, not now. But my point being is, you have to say, hey, what do I really want to look like? What do I truly want to feel like? Because I think a lot of people just ignore that. A lot of guys, and it too, and women, they don't like the way they look, but they're almost afraid to say it or do something about it because of what other people are going to think about them now. Especially, I have a lot of friends that are all overweight, smoke cigars, drink beer. I don't care what they do, right? I do what I want to do. I can still even enjoy those things, but I don't have to look like them. If I'm within, say I'm with a bunch of people who smoke too, these people, you fall into these certain cliques like, oh my God, am I going to be the one to quit smoking? I love going on smoke breaks. Now I'm not going to be a part of that crowd. But for your health reasons, you understand you have to make changes. That's my theory of a lot of that. So that's what you teach.
Spot on.
Yeah. So anyways, what else? So I saw your YouTube channel and I noticed you do stuff in the house. You do some house videos and stuff like that. What do that's a lot of people do that. I have workout videos out there too, and things like that. What's giving you like really good results when marketing yourself? We all I get hit up by literally probably 100 marketers a month on LinkedIn. I'm not exaggerating at this point. So I'm connected with a lot of people. Everyone pitches me the pitch, or now the new pitch is, I think is I'm a coach. Not only do I know about marketing, I'm teaching others how to market as well. All these different types of concepts going on. What do you see working? Because I see so many people talking so much shit and it's basically everybody doing the same thing. I don't care if it's videos. I don't care if it's social media. What kind of makes you stand out and be unique?
Ripper question. I think here's what's working. You connect with people like we are, right? We connected. We met through some mutual friends. And here's the thing. People are not adding enough value. Why would someone, if you look online, I could go to any profiles online, and even the people that like connect with me on a daily basis and then are trying to sell me their stuff. Here's the thing, is if on the front end, right? So you're going out into the marketplace on social, you're adding value. And I'm talking where you're actually adding value that gets people results in advance. So one thing I used to do, Rich, I used to give my workouts away.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like my workouts away that people were paying for.
Yeah.
I would give them the exact system that they needed to get results. And if they did take action and get those results, they're going to go, holy moly, that works. I'm like, yeah, because I'm giving you what works. So right now, people aren't giving enough of things for people to get results in advance. as an example, I have a free resource that I give people, which is called the LinkedIn Profile Optimization Checklist. And it's a 20-minute training with a download, and it gives them everything they need and the psychology behind it to turn their LinkedIn profile into a sales machine. Right?
Okay.
And I give so much value in there. It's a slice of my program.
Yes.
Whenever I'm giving content, I'm giving a slice of what I'm already giving people that are paid, but very strategically.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is people shouldn't be afraid of giving value, because guess what? Everything that people want is on the internet. All the answers are on the internet. Here's the kicker. And I said this in my sales video, and I say it a lot. It's from Derek Sivers, right? If it was more information that was needed, we'd all be billionaires with perfect apps. But that's not the case.
Yep. People
need and you've seen it in your own journey. They need very specific actions. Yep. That's why they need outside eyes to tell them what to do. Because you can peel, after speaking with someone for 10, 20 minutes, you can see their whole life from a bird's eye and go, okay, well, here's what we can do here, here, and here, and here, and here. And this will make a big difference for you. So what's that worth to you? What is speed worth to you? That's what you're paying for. Or when you're working with someone, is like, they've been where you want to go, and their clients are getting great results because it's a system like McDonald's, right? McDonald's has a system that they then go and replicate all around the world. Think of that on LinkedIn. Is you've got a system that generates leads and new clients every week. And it works without you over time as you build your business. So when it comes back to the content, it is the content that I was creating a couple of years ago around the pandemic. I got in very early. What I did is I jumped on the home workouts fast. My business went like from here to here, like that, because I got in before everyone else, and I was doing the home workouts because we've always got time to work out at home.
Sure. But
we don't always have time, or we don't make time, or for whatever reason, we can't get to the gym because of our lives. So that's where I started creating short workouts you could do at home, and pretty much most people could do it. And that's what really took off. And then over that time, not just the workouts, but it was the message that I was putting behind the workouts. I'd have a workout, and then I would have a message behind it that said, hey, like, you've just got to take the first step. Exactly what we talked about before. Start small, win small, build momentum, right? But just it doesn't have to be a 20-minute workout. Get it in 5 minutes. But that's not going to get me results. But you're not doing anything at the moment. So 5 minutes builds upon 5 minutes. And that turns out to, 4 workouts a week at 20 minutes over the next couple of months. It's that mindset that shifted people to take actions that inspired them to want to continue on that journey.
Yes.
That's the power of focusing on one thing and then just building that momentum.
I love how you talk about, because after doing marketing a couple films, my books, and then programs and all these other things, giving away most of it is what I'm all about. And one of the reasons I feel free doing that, and that's how come I have so many podcasts, and I love having people like yourself that actually I learn from you. I also give you a voice to my audience. I have no fear of that. I love that aspect of it. I'm all about giving. I love sharing and liking and all that stuff, because what I realize when it comes to helping others, me personally, is, I can do a generalization on fashion, fitness, on identity and all that, like a general. But what I realize with my clients, everybody's an individual. I need to create a blueprint specifically eventually for them. But at the beginning, they need to see something that's workable. How can I help them live an incredible life affordably? How can I help them, find the woman of their dreams? How can I help them lose or gain weight? Sure, I can just generalize it and say, portion control. Let's watch your diet a little bit. Let's do this type of workout. But then when I meet or talk to somebody independently, then it's a different story, because they're like, Rich, I have this lifestyle. I eat this type of food. I want to look like this. I want to, all these things. Listen, let's wrap up, because this is getting crazy.
Yep.
I want people to know, I want to know, I want to give people an opportunity to be able to find you. You want to give me some information on that?
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So I will give you my LinkedIn URL, which is so LinkedIn health-fitness-nutrition-coach. Adrian Lea, Adrian Lea. LinkedIn is the main place. Send me a message, connect. Happy days.
Yeah, do me a favor, Adrian. Send me any information you want me to put in the YouTube video, right? I want to know, or I could just grab it off LinkedIn, but send me what you'd like me to put there. I also would like to know your title. Like, what would you like to be besides your name? Because you're very unique and you do different things. Does that make sense? Does that make it easier for you?
Yep.
Is that cool?
Yep. I'll send that through to you.
Yeah, I don't want to just put LinkedIn guru or something like that, or fitness expert, or like, come up with something clever, because I want it to definitely be eye-catching. And I love that you took the time. What time is it right now in Australia, or your time?
7:58 a.m.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for getting up in the morning for me. Right now, what time is it here? I got to put my glasses on. I'm at 4:00 p.m.
You're 4 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, my
Rich,
man. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you offering to have me on your show, man. And I hope everyone got some value out of this. But you're a champion, and I really look forward to doing another one. Hopefully our connection will be better.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we should do one later at night, or maybe something different, because I think at least sometimes the Zoom between, at least in the United States, from like 9 to 5, sometimes they get shaky. So anyways, great seeing you, and I wish you nothing but the best. Let's stay in touch.